What's up, homies? How's everybody doing? Welcome back to another Sparking Zero video today. And in today's video, as you can see, we'll be doing something a little different. As everyone, I'm sure, has seen that Bandai Namco has put out a tweet saying that there's going to be a patch next month on Sparking Zero. I want to just go ahead and give my thoughts, feelings, and opinions on the game overall. Now, I do make a lot of critiques in this video. This is just my honest opinions. Hope nobody takes them too seriously, because honestly, this game isn't a real competitive fighting game. I mean, it can be competitive because there's also a tournament that's coming up, I think, after the patch happens, but overall I think it's a good game, but these are things that I think need to be fixed. And overall, hope you guys have fun with the video, but let's get into it. Now that we're here, let's go into a little bit more detail. We're going to start off with the DP system and slight changes that probably need to be made to balance out the game a little bit more. Now, I'm not saying you need to make every character completely balanced, but some things that I think need to be changed that are pretty inconsistent, such as, okay, for first off example, why do these two cost the same DP points? That's Super Saiyan, that's Super Saiyan 2. I don't understand that. One of the other things that I don't understand about the DP system is also, regarding what doesn't make sense, is why does this Gohan cost 4 points, but then it suddenly jumps to 6 at Super Saiyan? Because most of the other transformations for Super Saiyan in the game only go up by 1. But certain characters have jumps in their points. And then Super Saiyan 2 here, like I just pointed out with Goku, should cost just 1 more point, but it doesn't here. And something else, they made Adult Gohan and Teen Gohan cost the same points at base form. I don't really understand why this version of that character doesn't cost 5. It's a little weird, but okay. But then again, there's a jump. Let's just copy, repeat. And see, even here, this version of Gohan costs 5, but why does this version only cost 4? Isn't this version of Gohan canonically more powerful than this one? That doesn't make any sense. And then again, it only goes up by 1 for Super Saiyan. But then you have that jump here. Something else, again, same deal here. Same just straight up deal, but then up over here it's not the same. I don't get that. I don't get why in there. I get that's Super Saiyan, just a different grade of it, but still, not that I've seen anybody really use this form of Trunks too much, because he is kind of sluggish to use in the game. What's next? Let's see here. Something also that kind of bothers me is, why is Hercule the only character that costs 1 point? Why does Chaozu not cost 1? And Bardock is on the same DP point level as Gohan. Why? Why is he not a 3? I honestly think he should be a 3. And then here you have another jump with these characters. These random jumps in numbers, I don't understand why that's there. I get that canonically this character does become substantially stronger or more powerful when he transforms like this, but to me still it doesn't make any sense. And why is he not 2 points? He's 3. Honestly, should be 2. Like a Cyberman. I get that character in the series is canonically stronger than a Cyberman, but it's still, who's using this character? Really, who's using him? I honestly, I watch a lot of content on this game. I have not seen anybody use this guy yet. Bobbity, I don't understand why he's not. I mean, I guess he could be 3, but he's honestly not that good in this game to cost 2 or cost 3. He should honestly cost 2. Same thing as, you know, this guy. Turdless, he's also, you know, he comes from a point in the series before Super Saiyan was even a thing. I don't understand why he costs 4. I don't think that should really be the difference there, but hey, that's just me. I can kind of see it, you know, why it makes sense, but then, you know, I honestly haven't played Janemba like a lot to know whether he's good or not. So, I mean, hey, there might be another video there coming out at some point soon. But Whis and Beerus agreed that's understandable. That's good, and that's a good choice there. And then this jump here, I mean, like, I can kind of understand it here, but honestly, I think they should lower him down by like 1 point. Like, Rose should, I feel should be 7. It's just my honest opinion, but hey. And then something also I find a little odd about the DP system. I mean, odd, yes, a balancing I can understand a little bit, but you have custom dialogue between some of these characters when you put them on a team, but you can't put all the characters that have team custom dialogue on a team together in the DP. Like Jiren and the Pride Troopers, they have custom dialogue, but you'll never be able to use them in DP ranked. Which ranked I can understand if it's just one of those little things that they added into the game to make it, you know, for, you know, off-ranked consumption matches, whatever you want to call it. I guess that's cool. Reaper and Screw, I can kind of understand them being 5 points, but hey, honestly, I think Baby should cost 8, or at least, excuse me, Grade 8 Baby should cost 8. Just honestly, my opinion. Hirudegarn, I feel like he should be a 7, honestly. And I haven't played Dr. Willow a whole lot at all because I know he's kind of BS online. But considering, you know, he is BS online, they should probably, you know, up those points. Other than that, something else I did want to touch on is the fact that there are so many characters in this game that have unblockables. It's crazy. I don't know if the, you know, early Z Goku, if that Spirit Bomb is unblockable. I'm not sure. You can let me know in the comments below. But pretty much every other iteration of the Spirit Bomb is unblockable. Now, that being said, honestly, I can kind of see it, but if it's anything that's unblockable in this game, I really feel should not do massive, ungodly amounts of damage. And there are a plethora of characters in this game that have just unblockables. Jiren, Z Broly, and it's just crazy, especially like alts. Honestly, regular supers, some of them I can understand can be unblockable. They don't do that much damage most of the time, or at least in my experience, they're not one-hit kills. But Jiren's move, Broly's, a whole bunch of other characters are pretty much, like, if you ult someone twice, they're dead, unless they have some sort of regeneration factor in their team, or just character that they're using in ranked. And something else that, you know, other than the disconnects and whatnot, something also like in ranked, maybe when, you know, these characters are trying to do their unblockable ults, maybe make it to where they can't key spam the entire time just to get someone in an animation so they can't move and or, you know, get out of it, because that really needs to be adjusted here. I cannot stress that enough. You really need to make Make it to where, I don't know, to where you sit here and after they've key spammed it with one bar, they can't do it again for a certain amount of time with the next bar. They have to do other things. And again, some of these characters with unblockables, like Krillin's, you know, Destructo Discs or anything like that. Like Baby also has pretty much the same deal of a Destructo Disc, so does Frieza. They're the only characters in the game that, you know, have those as far as I know. I put out a team video not too long ago about that. Go check it out if you want. But yeah, I mean, that is understandable for those characters to have that, because I mean, even in the series, it's stated to be unblockable, even though you have characters, say like Perfect Cell, that, you know, got hit by it and then was like, it's nothing. And it's just, some of this is, some of it makes sense, some of it doesn't. And like Majin Buu, almost all the iterations of him having some regeneration factor does make sense. But if we're going off of that, none of the Namekians have that, and they like regenerate all the same. I mean, unless Nail has something, because I haven't played Nail a lot other than the one video that I did with the Namekian team, and I can't remember if buying time is a buff or if it's a regen, which I'm pretty sure it's not a regen. What else? The instant transmission spam into supers and ults. That is something that also needs to be fixed, because it will make you lock off of them, so that, like, I can't tell you, I mean, I know that in a couple of the videos that I have that are coming out, or are been out, that's just, people will spam that online. Will instant transmission behind you and, you know, into an ult. Now, I mean, hell, I mean, I've done it myself. I try not to spam it, but if, like, the match is going bad, it's going bad, and I feel like, you know, hey, we're in ranked win. But certain things that, you know, even adjust that. I'm not saying don't adjust that, but make it to where, you know, the lock-on isn't such a god-awful mess to deal with. When you can clearly see the character with your own eyes, the character on the screen should be able to see it too. It's not that complex. And I haven't heard a lot of people say this about this game, but also there's a lot of latency. There's a lot of lag. I usually don't, when I go into ranked, when I play this game, which is primarily most of the time that I'm picking this game up is on ranked, as you can see from my videos, I pretty much filter it out to where it's only 4 bars. Now, I don't face anything lower than that. And then even sometimes, when I feel like the latency is really bad, which there's been a few times here recently where it's been kind of bad, and you've heard me call it out in my videos, to where I go and I just filter out the 5 bars, and I'll just sit there and wait until somebody comes through that has that kind of connection. I don't really care. Like, at this point, it's another anime game that also has connection issues. Real quick, before we get any further into this video, I wanted to give a little bit more explanation as to what the latency affects. Now, I've heard a lot of people complain about Z counters and counters this, vanishes this. When the latency is really bad and you're facing an opponent that has a character with really high frames, such as UI Goku or Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta, the counters that you do when they're behind you, sometimes that doesn't even work. I've heard a lot of people complain about, oh, well, all you have to do is spam it. I've sat here and watched streams of S-rank players, Z-rank players, and they spam it. I don't know why people are saying, oh, well, you shouldn't have to spam it, or they don't spam it, which they certainly do. Don't let anybody tell you they're not spamming that, especially when you have a really, really good character with really high frames. And the latency does affect that really badly sometimes. And I'm plugged in with an 800 megabyte connection. The lag affects a lot of the counters. Sometimes it won't even let you do half of them in a match, and it's god awful. And I just felt like I wanted to touch on that just a little bit better. But anyways, let's get back to it. And come on. it's time to fix that, or at least improve it in some way. And something also else that I wanted to point out about, the connections and whatnot, where it's lagging and something, is something I thought or had the idea of that the company was doing when they made this game. Is I've heard a lot of people dislike the cutscenes. There's cutscenes for everything, transformations, most of the supers in the games have cutscenes, and some people don't like sitting through that. I can understand that, but what I have pointed out, or the idea I had that the game was doing, or what I thought they incorporated into the game, is because there's so many cutscenes in the game, to me, considering both players have to watch the cutscene, that would give the netcode or the connection time to catch up, or at least in my mind, that's what I figured could happen or be done. But sometimes it doesn't feel that way, and the connection is just really, really awful. Certain things this game can be improved on. I really think it can, but I don't know. I can't sit here and say that the game is 100% the best anime game there is, because it's not. It's not. Every anime game has issues. It's just the way of the world that we're living in today with these games. Maybe one day we'll have it, do better and be better, but as of right now, I mean, this game is visually good, but it does have a lot of the same problems that the other games do have, like connection, input delay, such as you'll sit there and be seeing the prompt for your ult on the side of the screen, and then you'll just keep perceptioning, and then the opponent can then just do whatever they need to respond while you're doing it, to maybe even 3, maybe even 4 times I've seen people have to deal with that, of perceptioning before the ult will actually even go off. Now, sometimes when, again, you have an unblockable ult, that'll still work out if they don't have time to block or move out of the way, but most of the time, I personally don't like to sit here and play with characters that have unblockable ults. Now, I will sit here and try to play people who can balance out and gain rank, in ranked. And I'm not picking total just trash characters in this game. I feel like there are a lot of characters that are just not going to ever get used, such as characters who don't have instant transmission or wild sense or after image strike or whatever else is the equivalent to that with their kit themed for their character. Like Broly has pretty much an instant transmission. I think the only difference is it doesn't make you unlock off of the opponent, or the opponent unlock off of you. Insta sparks, I don't think that's too big of a deal. I mean, you should, in any fighting game, also be keeping an eye on your opponent's bars just as much as your own. And I know that's hard to do, and that's sometimes a learning curve for some people, but that is something that you need to be observant of in these games. And you can see the bar light up. So I don't think Insta Spark is too bad. Now, after Image Strike, to me, that's a problem. That's kind of a big issue, and that probably needs to be fixed to where the timer of it, I think it might be 15 seconds. It doesn't need to be 15 seconds. When you're engaging with someone and they can just automatically dodge everything you're doing, it adds a really big advantage over them. But yeah, make the window of time lower. Lower it down to 8 seconds, 10 seconds, something less than 15, which, if I'm correct, that is what it is. Now, characters with regen, you're stuck in an animation for a pretty long time whenever you do any one of these regen, sleep or regen like he has and whatnot. You're there sitting for a hot minute, so I don't really think that really needs to be patched out. But it's little tweaks here and there, guys. It could save the game. It could do a lot of things. And it's just, I think the game could ultimately do good if these changes were implemented. I don't know if they will be, but, other than the obvious cosmetic, things that need to be added to the game, such as Vegeta here having almost completely no outfits. He has 2 most of the time, if I'm not mistaken. On every variant he has, it's just 2. That was the same one, yeah. This Vegeta actually gets, you know, I like that outfit for Vegeta, but again, it's only 2 outfits. And then Goku, gets the lion's share here, which he's the protagonist. I can understand it, but damn, like, there are a lot of, other outfits in the series that he wore, such as his just regular day clothes during the series, which changed, throughout the series. And, other than this pretty much inconsistency of, again, I pointed out, of this Goku only has this variant of his gi, but he should also have that variant of the gi. Like, 100% should have that variant of the gi on this character. Because he did come to Earth, or he did come back to Earth, after all the shit on Namek went down. And he did, rock this outfit, which I, personally like this one, but he did, he did have this other gi for a while, and I don't know, little things here and there, like, can be fixed, but ultimately, it's just, I don't know. I'm hoping next month they will be fixed. I don't really see everything being fixed, but, yeah. Other than that, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and, thought all these things can be improved on. Tell me if you think that, anything else should be improved on other than what I've, mentioned in this video, but thank you guys so much, and I'll see you in the next one.